Good morning, guys. Welcome to the class. Today I'm going to be doing a 30-minute Vinyasa style yoga with you guys today. My name is Olivia Bloomer. I'm an intern biokineticist and qualified yoga instructor at the Sports Science Institute. Today's class will be, as I said, 30 minutes long. It'll be applicable to all levels. So if you are a beginner, please make sure you're listening up to the modifications I give. And if you do have any injuries or pre-existing medical conditions, please make sure you have medical clearance before taking part in the class today. Without any further ado, we're going to get started. All you're going to need today is your mat and yourself, and we're going to start standing today. So standing at the top of the mat, let's have the big toes together and heels slightly apart. You can either flutter your eyes closed or take your gaze down at this point, whichever feels comfortable for your balance and where you are right now. Get the feeling of lightly bringing the shoulder blades a little bit closer, so you'll find a length happening in the front of the body, a lengthening of the collarbones. The hands flop out to the side and maybe the palms start to face forward. Trying to grow a little bit taller here, to gain a little inch. Think about a string pulling out the top of your head. You want to keep integrity in the spine, keep it nice and long. So gaze is either down or eyes are closed. And think about drawing navel to spine gently. You tend to lock out the knees, make sure you have a little bit of a soft bend. And let's make this active here by drawing the front thighs up, so a little bit of activation in the legs. Think about drawing up on the inner arches of the foot, so you'll feel an activation in the outer hip. Draw attention to your breath. Grounding ourselves in our practice today. And maybe we start to increase the length of the inhales and exhales. Gently rocking onto the toes. And onto the heels, and then finding your middle ground where you feel comfortable. Just bringing some awareness into how we stand. Take one deep inhale through the nose, and then sigh it out as we exhale. Gently flutter the eyes open. Once again, think about opening up through the collarbones, growing a little bit taller, belly to spine. Inhale as we lift the arms up by the ears, stretch up to the ceiling, spread the fingertips. And exhale as we swan dive, forward fold. So dropping the head here, you can take a nice generous bend in the knee just for the beginning. If those hamstrings are feeling a bit tight, relax the head, make sure it's hanging heavy. Breathing here, 2 breaths. And as we inhale, trying to straighten up the legs a little bit. Hands come to shin, straighten up the spine. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, halfway lift. And let's forward fold, exhale. One more time, inhale as we halfway lift, hands come to shin, straighten up the spine. And let's exhale, forward fold. Planting the hands, stepping the right leg back, followed by the left leg. So we're in a plank. So you can either be on your knees here, dropping the hips down, or on your toes. Drawing navel to spine, pushing to the shoulder blades. Head is in line with the spine. Good, and let's all drop the knees here and keep those elbows next to the body. Draw shoulder blades back and down, open the chest as we slowly lower onto our belly. Hands just under the shoulders. Draw shoulder blades back. Inhale, half lift, baby cobra. And let's come down, nice deep exhale. Pushing back up into plank. And pushing through the base of the fingertips, coming to our first downward facing dog. So you may need to readjust here, and let's start to pedal it out. So dropping one heel, then the other. And think about, as we warm up through the hamstrings, think about tipping the tailbone to the ceiling. So finding some length in the spine. Head is nice and heavy. And maybe we want to put some weight just into that left heel. So pushing down into left heel, lifting the right. And let's switch over other side. So pushing into that right heel, lifting the left. And dropping the knees, coming into a 4-point kneeling position. Let's take the hands just below the shoulders and knees just below the hips. And we're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. So let's inhale, drop the tummy, open the chest, and roll the shoulders back. Look up, take the gaze up, and exhale, reversing that posture, so rounding the upper back, dropping the head, bring the shoulders by the ears. Inhale, rounding down, drop belly to the mat. Exhale, rounding up. So really sinking into the breath here, warming up the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Bring shoulders to ears. Drop the head. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale, rounding into cat here. Push through the fingertips, and we'll hold here for one breath. So really think about clawing through the fingertips, pushing away the earth. And let's come back to center. Planting the left hand, reaching up with the right, so twisting the torso to the right. Reaching up. And let's exhale, drop it through, so threading the needle, bringing that right shoulder to the mat. If you can't reach the mat and you're only over here, that's fine, as long as you're getting a thoracic twist, so twist in the upper spine. Head can rest lightly on the mats, and maybe you start to take your gaze up and gently push through that left hand to deepen into the twist. And let's come back up, reaching up with the right hand once more. And dropping it down. Nice. Other side, reaching up with the left. So really start to feel that opening. And let's exhale, drop it through, resting the shoulder if you can, and the head on the mat, otherwise hanging a little further up. And pushing through that right heel of the hand. Maybe you take your gaze up if that's comfortable. Keep deep breathing. And let's come back to center here. Spread the hands, pushing back into down dog. We're going to look forward and take some tiny steps, starting to bend the knees towards the hands. When you get to the top, grabbing hold of the elbows here and just rocking from side to side. If you need to take a bend in the knees, go ahead. And coming to a place of stillness. Let's draw navel to spine, let the head hang heavy, and roll up one vertebra at a time. Slower the better, stacking each vertebra. Head comes up last, roll shoulders back, and up comes the head. Good. Resetting here. Bring the big toes together again, heels slightly apart. Let's inhale as we lift the hands up by the ears. Spread the fingertips, palms facing each other. Exhale, folding forward, diving forward. Let's halfway lift as we inhale. So remember, hands to shin, roll shoulders back, straighten the spine, and release forward as we exhale. Planting the hands, stepping right leg back, and then left, holding in this plank for 2 breaths. And as we push through the base of the hands into downward dog. Inhale, let's lift that right leg now. So make sure that the hips and the toes are squared to the mat. They're not tipping up or down. Nice and level. Looking forward and stepping that right leg between the hands and lowering that left leg. Let's sweep the arms up by the ears as we take a nice deep inhale. Tuck those lower ribs and think about drawing the left hip forward, the right hip back, so those hips are squared to the front of the mat. Good. As we exhale, opening up our hands to the right and twisting that upper body to the right. So again here, thoracic twist. Good. Inhale back to center, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, bending at the arms, leaning slightly back, maybe taking your gaze up if that's comfortable. Inhale. And as we exhale, let's try and draw those elbows together a little bit. So squeezing the shoulder blades, feel that activation in the back. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Bring the hands down, stepping back into plank. 2 breaths here. So keep nice and active, keep pushing through the hands. And then pushing back into down dog. Lifting the left leg now. Again, making sure hips and toes are squared. Reaching up, looking forward, stepping left foot between the hands and dropping that right knee. Let's sweep the arms up, tuck low ribs. Draw that right hip forward, left hip back. And as we exhale, let's open up our hands to the left. Keep deep breathing, drawing navel to spine as we twist. And let's lift the arms up by the ears again. And as we exhale, take a back bend here. So draw navel to spine so you have a strong base of support to get that back bend. If you're feeling any pinching in the lower back, please back off here. As we exhale, let's try and draw the elbows together a little bit, activating those back muscles. And let's draw the arms back up, all the way down, stepping back into plank for 2 breaths. So nice, active, strong here. And let's take the knees nice and wide, big toes together and melt into a child's pose. Resting the elbows on the ground, we'll take 3 deep breaths here. So melting that chest all the way between the knees. Trying to drop the butt back to the heels and just surrender. And when you're ready, start to activate through the fingers, straighten up the elbows, spread the fingertips wide and push through the base of our fingers as we tuck the toes and shoot the tailbone back to the ceiling in our downward facing dog. Let's inhale, lift the right leg. This time we're going to bend in the knees and open up the hip to the right, so the hip is rotating. Trying to get that right knee nice and high, squeezing in the glute. Looking forward, stepping between the hands and keep that left knee lifted as we reach up into our high lunge now. Good, as I said before, trying to rotate that left hip forward, right hip back. And then spinning the left foot down, and making sure that the left arch of the foot is in line with that front heel. Warrior two. So reaching out with both hands, staring to the front of the mat, and reversing that warrior. Left hand comes to the left leg, reaching to the back of the mat. Right elbow comes to right knee. Sweep that left hand up by the ear. Side angle pose. Nice deep breathing. Think about rolling that left shoulder back. So we're opening up the chest to the side. Good, and then reversing that warrior once more, so reaching to the back of the mat. Swinging the arms all the way forward, coming to a lunge to the front of the mat. Good, stepping that left leg to meet the right as we enter a forward fold. And coming into our chair pose, so sitting the bum back, reaching the arms up by the ears. If this hurts your knees, come a little bit higher up or leave it out. So opening up the chest, sitting as low as we can, drawing navel to spine. Good, and exhale, let's fold forward. 2 breaths in this forward fold. And let's start to plant the hands. Step right leg back and left and push into our downward dog. You can pedal it out here, take a brief break before we repeat on the other side. And coming to a place of stillness, you're reaching that tailbone nice and high. Let's lift that left leg as we inhale. And remember this time bending in the knee, opening up that left hip. Trying to get the knee nice and high. Looking forward, stepping that left leg between the hands and reaching up into our high lunge. Remember, square those hips, draw navel to spine. Reaching up for the ceiling, grow a little bit taller. As we spin that back leg down, coming into our warrior two. So imagine someone's pulling you from both sides. You're getting that length through the hands. Staring down that middle finger at the front of the mat. Good, let's reverse the warrior. Right hand comes to right leg, reaching to the back of the mat. Maybe you take your gaze up, if that feels comfortable. And left hand comes to left knee, sweeping the right hand up by the ear, looking up, side angle pose. Get that feeling of almost leaning back. That's the amount of openness in the chest. So we're not hunching forward, we're finding that expansion. Good, and reversing the warrior again, so reaching to the back of the mat. Keep breathing nice and deep. Spinning those arms all the way to the front, coming to our lunge. Stepping the right leg back to meet the left, forward fold. Bending in the knees, reaching the arms up by the ears, sitting nice and low in our chair. So draw the shoulders down the waist. Holding here for 2 more breaths. Sitting nice and low, you should feel the burn in the quads. And folding forward. Planting the hands now, stepping back with the right leg and then the left, dropping the knees and coming into a brief child's pose here. Two more nice deep breaths. coming into our 4-point kneeling position. Stepping back with that right leg, and then the left coming into a plank. Now there are 3 options here. So you can either roll onto the right side of your foot and reach up into a stacked plank, or you can have the knee down here in that half side plank. Or if you're quite advanced, you can stack the feet here. Yeah, I just want you to be lifting up through that side body, and think about drawing up to the shoulders. We're not sitting into the shoulder joint, we're really reaching up. Good, and dropping that left hand now, either coming onto your knees or staying up on your toes, slowly lowering down. Keep those elbows next to the body. Elbows next to the shoulders as we inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale down. Pushing all the way up into plank, and then downward dog. Looking forward at the top of the mat, you can either hop, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we forward fold. Reaching up, coming up standing, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down. We're going to go into our eagle pose here. So transferring the weight now into the left leg. We're going to cross that right leg over. So bending a little bit here. If you need to hold on to a wall, you can. You can either just stay like this and just cross there, or you can hook that right toe around the left calf. Good. Right hand under, left hand over as we maybe meet the back of the hands, or even you can wrap around to meet the palms. Sitting nice and low, staring at one single spot. Keep breathing nice and deep. And then slowly untangle and forward fold. Planting the hands, stepping back with the right leg and the left. Remember there are 3 options here. So either rolling onto your left side of your foot and staying here, or dropping the knee, or stacking the foot. Reaching up nice and high, feeling those obliques switching on wherever you are. Taking your gaze wherever feels comfortable. One more breath here. And coming into plank. So either you can lower onto your knees or stay on your toes as we lower down slowly. Hands up by the shoulders. So you can either come up halfway or you can come up into your full cobra. Just make sure there's no pinching in the back. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades back and down. And let's exhale. Coming all the way down. Pushing into plank. Down dog. Looking forward, bending in the knees. You can either hop, step, or take a jump. Inhale as we halfway lift. Straighten that upper back. And forward fold, exhale. Reaching up. Hands by the ears. And we're going to take that eagle pose other side this time. Transferring your weight onto the right leg, staring at one single spot. You can cross the left leg over, either just crossing over just like that, or you can find that hook of the left leg. Staring at one single spot. This time left arm under, right arm on top, and the back of the hands can meet, or if you can, meet the palms wherever you are, staying here in this balance. Think about hugging into the midline, so keeping nice and compact. Steady breathing. slowly start to untangle. Let's forward. So now take a nice generous bend in the knee here, so you can really melt that upper body onto the knee, onto the thighs. One more time, planting the hands, stepping back into plank. 2 breaths here. And dropping the knees nice and wide. Let's come into a child's pose. I'm going to start to cool down now. So taking some time to think about how you're feeling now versus the beginning of the class, checking in on the body. And maybe thanking yourself for giving yourself this time to connect with the body, connect with the breath. Walking your hands all the way to the left, and maybe that right hand comes on top of the left as we rotate that right shoulder down and feel a stretch all along the right side body. And then walking the hands all the way to the right. Left hand on top of right, and spin that left shoulder down. Nice deep belly breaths. Bringing the hands back to center, walking them up, feet out to the side, and we'll come to lie on our backs just for a brief moment here. Extending the legs out in front of you. Feet hip-width distance apart, and feet flop out to the side. Hands resting at 45-degree angles from the body and palms facing up. Lightly close the eyes here. And just becoming aware of the contact points of the body and the earth. Feeling as though you can completely surrender. There's no longer need to force or contract. You can relax all those muscles. Congratulate yourselves for the hard work you've done today. Becoming aware of our breathing. The effortless rise and fall of the belly, the chest. Taking a couple of deep breaths here in silence. Slowly beginning to deepen that breath, making it a bit more energizing to wake you up again. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, maybe ankles and wrists. Reaching the hands up by the ears, pointing the toes, reaching up with the hands, so lengthen through the body. And exhale as we surrender once more. Extending the left hand by the ear and rolling onto the side. Gently flutter the eyes open as we come up to a seated position. Hands up by the by the knees. Inhale as we find length through the spine, and exhale audibly through the mouth. Thank you for joining this session this morning, everyone. Please make sure to keep our lookout for our collabs with Total Sports and CISA. There's one coming up at 12 today, so please make sure you're paying attention and joining for that. Thanks so much for your time. Have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.